All right, welcome. Today we are diving deep into something really cool. We're looking at how some of the most advanced AI, I'm talking large language models, RAG, and AI agents, are coming together to tackle a really old-school, hands-on problem, industrial maintenance. Yeah, we're literally going from dusty, greasy manuals to super smart assistants, and believe me, it's a much bigger game changer for quality and efficiency than you might think.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get a grip on the core problem in maintenance. Then, I'll introduce you to the AI solution, this thing called agentic RAG. After that, we'll see exactly how it makes the job better, peek behind the curtain at what it takes to build these things, and wrap up by talking about what this all means for us, for our jobs in the future.
Okay, let's get into it. To really understand why this AI is such a big deal, we first have to get our heads around the massive business challenge it's built to solve. And it all boils down to one simple idea: getting the job done right, the very first time.
So let's start with this really basic question. For any company that has technicians out in the field, working on factory machines, fixing vehicles, maintaining infrastructure, the answer to this question can honestly make or break them, both in terms of profit and reputation.
Well, the industry has a way to measure this. It's a key metric called the first-time fix rate, or FTFR for short, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. What percentage of the time can a technician figure out the problem and fix it completely on the very first visit? A high FTFR, that's the gold standard. It's what everyone is chasing.
But what happens when that first fix fails? Well, it's not just a minor hiccup. It kicks off this really expensive domino effect. You've got more truck trips, you're ordering more parts, you're burning through more labor hours, and all of that just sends your costs through the roof. Plus, your best technicians get stuck on annoying repeat visits, your customer satisfaction just tanks, and worst of all, you could lose that customer for good.
Okay, so how in the world do we boost that first-time fix rate? This is where our AI super apprentice steps in. The solution is this really powerful setup we call agentic RAG, and it works by combining 3 different kinds of AI into one slick system.
So at the very heart of it all, you have the large language model, the LLM. Just think of this as the brain of the whole operation. It's the part that can understand what a technician is asking in plain English, no matter how complicated, and it can logically think through the problem. But here's the thing. An LLM is only as smart as the data it was trained on, and that's where RAG comes into play. Retrieval augmented generation is like giving the system a perfect memory. It connects that LLM brain to a company's own specific, always current information. We're talking technical manuals, wiring schematics, and even the repair logs from every similar job they've ever done before.
And the final piece of the puzzle is the AI agent. This is the doer. It's the part that takes all the smart insights from the LLM and RAG and actually turns them into action. It doesn't just give you an answer. It looks at the situation, figures out the steps, and then acts to get the job done.
So here's how it all clicks together out in the field. Imagine a technician types in a problem, something like, Unit 7 compressor is vibrating and running hot. Instantly, the agent uses RAG to pull up the exact schematics for Unit 7, its entire maintenance history, and records of any similar problems on other machines. Then, the LLM crunches all of that data in seconds to figure out the most likely diagnosis. And finally, the agent acts, giving the tech a precise, step-by-step repair guide, and maybe even highlights the exact part that's failed most often in the past.
So what does this actually change on the ground? This isn't just some small improvement. It's a fundamental shift in how maintenance gets done. We're moving away from an art that relies on guesswork and experience to a science that's all about data-driven precision.
I mean, the difference is just night and day. Before, a technician could waste hours digging through old manuals or calling up a senior guy just relying on that tribal knowledge. But now, they have instant access to the entire collective knowledge of the organization, with an AI guiding them to the most probable solution based on hard data. This hits the root causes of a low FTFR head-on and just boosts the quality of every single repair.
And it gets even cooler, because this tech goes way beyond just fixing things faster. Agentic AI opens up totally new possibilities. It can analyze sensor data to predict a failure before it even happens, automatically figure out the root cause of a recurring problem, and basically act as a super smart knowledge engine for the entire team.
This all sounds incredible, right? But what does it actually take to build one of these AI agent systems? Well, it's probably more accessible than you think, but you definitely need the right set of tools and skills.
If you were to think of AI agents as a country, their official language would absolutely be Python. Research shows that Python is used in over half of all agent development projects. It's just dominant. And that trend is reflected everywhere, including right here in places like Thailand, where being good at Python is one of the top things companies are looking for in new tech hires.
Now, building an agent isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. There are different ways to jump in depending on how skilled your team is. You can start with these really user-friendly low-code platforms to get something up and running fast. Or, if you need total control, you can use powerful frameworks like LangChain for maximum customization. The point is, there's a path for pretty much every skill level.
And the really great news is that the number of people who can actually build these systems is growing fast. Locally, places like Schooldeo are running boot camps and workshops, and even universities like UTC are launching specialized MBA programs focused on AI. So the talent is definitely being developed to meet this new demand.
Okay, this all brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. With tools this powerful, what does it mean for the human technician? Are we just automating them out of a job?
Well, the research points to the exact opposite. The goal here isn't replacement, it's augmentation. The whole idea is for the AI to handle the routine, the repetitive, the data-heavy stuff. It scales up the easy fixes so that the human experts can use their valuable time and skills on the really complex, weird, and critical problems, the ones that need real human creativity.
You know, the best way to think about it is like a new kind of team. The AI agent is the perfect apprentice. It never gets tired, it has a flawless memory, it has instant access to every single manual. But the human technician, they are the seasoned expert. They bring the critical thinking, that gut feeling you only get from years of experience, and of course the irreplaceable hands-on skills to actually do the repair.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This technology isn't just about making a number, like the first-time fix rate, go up. It's about fundamentally changing what skilled work even looks like. So the question isn't whether AI is coming for our jobs. The real question is, are we ready to work alongside our new, incredibly capable AI teammates?